Well, bowling fans, Pioneer Bowling Richfield, today's the site, our second annual High School Mixed Doubles Classic. Joining me again today in the commentary, Chad Source from UWM Bowling. And Chad, tough condition out there today for the bowlers. They were bowling on the 37-foot Broadway pattern from Kegel Bowling and grind out all day, but team that was kind of surprising coming out as a top seed from two different schools, Alyssa Athis from Waukesha West and Brent Boho from Marquette.
Yeah, Alyssa and Brent bowled great throughout the entire qualifying session, limited the amount of mistakes they made, and on a pattern like this, the fewer mistakes you make, the easier spares you make, the further you're going to go in this tournament.
Well, top seed gets to bowl the opening match. They're going to be bowling against West Dallas Central. Second match will feature Indian Trail bowling against Muskego, and no gimmies in any of those matches out there at all today, Chad.
No, a lot of great teams, like you said, even though Waukesha West and Marquette is kind of a team put together last minute, the rest of the team's very strong high school program, so it should be fun to watch.
We'll be back with that opening match from Pioneer Bowling Richfield in just a second. Make sure you stay tuned. I have a lot of viewers that ask me, why do you have so many of your tournaments at Castle Lanes? Well, Castle Lanes is a center that has an exceptional atmosphere. The charm of being in a Northwoods cabin while you bowl, an attentive staff on the lanes and in the lounge, all the big screen TVs and a free Wi-Fi hotspot, and being named in Bowler's Journal as one of the 95 places to bowl before you die, you have to bowl at Castle Lanes. That's why we love Castle Lanes, and you will too. Barbiere's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mountain Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee. It's never too early to think spring at Pioneer Bowling Richfield. Sign up for softball, volleyball, kickball, and bowling leagues. Get your info at pioneerbowlsports.com. Here we are, game number one for the High School Mixed Doubles Classic, presented by Barbiere's Italian Inn. West Dallas Central coming out of the number 7 seed in the semifinals, taking on top seed Waukesha West and Marquette. And Chad, we got Freddie Peterson, our lone lefty on the show, leading us off.
There we go. We got to cheer for our fellow lefties, right, Phil?
Exactly. Freddie had a little problem getting the pocket to hold all day today, and yeah, when he made an error, it didn't stay out to the left. It definitely went through the nose. You'd see right there, he paid the price on that first shot.
Well, and this is definitely a pattern, Phil, where how it plays, if you get a little slow, it's going to jerk like it just did through the face right there.
Well, no prize money on the show, no scholarships for the kids. This is simply for school pride, but as always, if somebody makes a Big Four split, it's a $100 scholarship award from Essential Bowling Concepts. Not this time, though. It only gets to 2, but you got to get your count early on in a match like this.
Well, every pin count. I mean, how many times have we seen these come down to the 10th frame, come down to, a single pin spare or just being able to get that one extra pin?
Alyssa Athis, last year's Spare Time Top Gun winner at Shorewood High School. This year, we're moving locations. We're going to be at Motion Plus Lanes in February. You'll see that Top Gun telecast in March, thanks to our friends at Time Warner Cable SportsChannel. And there's a problem a lot of the righties had today. When they missed to the right, it stayed there. So, tougher pattern today than what a lot of these kids normally bowl on with Kegel's Broadway pattern. It's something that you see once in a while, rarely in your collegiate tournaments, because it's actually a little bit easier than what you see in collegiate tournaments.
Well, easier relatively speaking. This is still a challenging pattern. I mean, I don't want your viewers to think that this is something they can just throw on anywhere. I mean, these kids still have to make good quality shots.
And gets the 3 there to get out, gets her team an early 1-pin lead. Once again, I want to thank Mark Dempsey, the owner, and all of his staff at both Barbiere's locations, Blue Mountain Road in Milwaukee and Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee, for sponsoring this event and getting it on the air. Second year in a row for that. And Maddie Brandos from West Dallas Central with her first shot on TV ever, and almost gets the lucky break to roll out the 10.
And that's one of the things that we preach to all the college kids, Phil, is just make sure you don't give up the head pin. Even if you cross over a little bit, you still give yourself a chance to do something, and that's exactly what happened in this case.
Yeah, Maddie, only a sophomore, 15 years old. Favorite pro bowler, Sean Rash. And, well, we've seen Sean miss a 10-pin here there on TV. Yep. I don't think she was trying to emulate him right there. That's just a bad mistake on her part. So also want to thank Eileen's Bowling Buddy, great training aid we have out there for our players. Sponsoring our Midwinter Classic, you'll see in February. From Castle Lanes and Racine, always a gorgeous time. Gorgeous center there. And Brent Boho starting things off for
He goes to Marquette High School. Now you're wondering why, if it's the high school championship and they're supposed to bowl for the same schools, why are Brent and Alyssa bowling together? Well, Marquette, all-boys high school, and since they don't have any other females to pair up with, there were no other entrants from Waukesha West, so we allowed him to pair up with Alyssa for this tournament. Normally in athletics, it's usually DSHA and Marquette alternating because they're both an all-boys and all-girls school, but DSHA, no high school bowling program yet. Maybe we can change that in the future. And Freddie, once again, a little bit farther to the right that time in that shot. Just leaves a 5-8, though. Should be a pretty easy spare for him.
Well, we hope so. I mean, there's still a possibility if he pulls it again that he could chop the 5 right off the 8. So you got to be a little careful with this spare.
Yeah, he's only a junior in school. Wow,
you go.
Called that one.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Freddie. Didn't mean to jinx you.
Yeah, but wow, 3 opens in a row for West Dallas Central to start. Match far from over, but they're gonna have to start throwing strikes on the board pretty quick. And you just make too good of a shot, I guess, on those spares. You could say to yourself, "Oh, I threw it too good and hit right on the 5 pin." Alyssa Athis, junior at Waukesha West, 17 years of age, and can't quite get the messenger to take the 10 out.
Oh, but a good shot. I mean, that was a very solid shot, made a good adjustment, came up a little bit light. But yeah, a lot of times you're going to get that pin to come over and knock out the 10.
Early this season, she paired up with her mom, Jill, and won our adult youth doubles silver division at Classic Lanes in Greenfield. So she's got a couple of recent tournament wins on her adult, looking for another one right here with the High School Mixed Doubles Classic. Want to thank her dad, Donnie, as well, for all the support he gives with her bowling. Let's see if Maddie can stop the bleeding right now. Likes to play a little volleyball outside of bowling. Her parents, Dave and Janice, watching here today. And that's once again left out of her hand, and mirror image almost of what her teammate just left.
Absolutely. I mean, very good physical game, very simple, nothing flashy, but really lays the ball down nice. Just having a little issue right now with probably a little bit of trust, making sure she's not going to miss to the right.
Oh yeah, first time under the TV lights for her and her partner. So you've got Brent and Alyssa have both made a couple of appearances on our Youth Challenge TV shows in the past, and the bleeding stopped now for West Dallas Central.
And that was an outstanding shot. I hope she remembers that for her next frame, because that was right in the pocket. I think that would have been a very good result.
It's a little tough bowling Baker doubles as well. I mean, you have the rhythm of bowling every other frame, but you know what your partner's done before you. Always adds that little bit more pressure of, I need to get this double, or, I can't let my partner down.
Absolutely.
Brent, with that unique two-handed style, falls a little off balance on the end of that one. You can see quick getting in the line, falling off balance, and that ball just stayed to the right.
And that's one thing we're noticing, too, is all of these two-handed approaches, they're all slightly different. I see so many different ones at the college level now. No two are alike, just like regular bowling as well. So it's very unique.
So his parents, Kim and Tate, in the crowd cheering him on today. Drops that ball straight down almost into the backswing. In usual form, like you said, everyone's a little bit different, and only gets away with 3, and that tightens this match right back up down to a 8-pin match for the lead for Waukesha West Marquette. Well, let's see what Freddie can do for his team's frame, getting into the commercial break. Favorite bowler, Patrick Allen. Not quite Patrick's style. Patrick's a little more aggressive on the bottom of the shot, but definitely classic style there from Freddie. Real smooth. Comes through, kind of reminds me of the old Dave Davis style.
And that was a name I was exactly thinking of right there. You got a number of those lefties that you can point to. Dave Davis is an outstanding one at that. And I think if I'm Freddie, I don't mind getting compared to a bowler like that.
No, I mean, he's got a good quality rev rate. His rev rate and his speed matches quite well. Keeps the ball in play all day, and he gets himself a spare, and he's on the board with a mark. So, we saw a lot of matches today. Scores were close. Scores were a little bit lower than expected. I mean, our leading qualifiers today were Waukesha West, Marquette here with a 178 average for 2 regular doubles games and 4 Baker doubles games in qualifying. So, little tougher pattern, and it was a matter of filling frames, getting your spares, and a big break there to not leave a washout and just leave that picket fence.
Yeah, it sounds strange, but a lot of times you'll hear bowlers yelling in that case, stay out, and that's exactly what they're meaning, is they don't want that ball to creep up too much on the 3-pin, because then they're going to wash out.
Yeah, but this is no gimme either right here with the 1, 2, 4, 7. Lots of ways you can leave a pin. You try to cover them all with the ball here, best way to do it. See what you can do getting in the commercial break here. Covers
nice
it
shot.
up nicely. You must have taught her that, coach.
Yeah, right.
As a coach. So we're going to get to the first commercial break of the day. Join us back from Pioneer Bowl in Richfield for the 2014 High School Mixed Doubles Classic in just a moment. Join Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, Dwight Albrecht, and Phil Brilo as they discuss the PBA Tour and highlights of local bowling on the Spare Time Bowling Show, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP.
Hi, I'm Jerry from FM Auto. Is your car ready for winter? If not, bring your vehicle in and have my staff here look your vehicle over, make sure you're not going to get caught out in the cold. Set up your appointment today at 414-455-8750. You won't be disappointed.
All right, we had the bowlers continue bowling through the commercial break to save a little time. Maddie Brando's up for West Dallas Central. Once again, a little case of the pulls. Almost gets a good break there with the 6-pin. And does what she's supposed to do, Chad. Moves to the left side of the lane and covers up the spare.
That's all you can do. 9 spare is not a bad result in a format like this.
Brett Boho gets himself fixed from last time he was up. Keeps that ball nice and direct. Scatters the rack around. And then Freddie Peterson stepping up for his team in the 7th frame. Nice shot and just rings up that 7.
Still a very good shot. That's a victory right there for Freddie.
Unfortunately, though, the victory turns sour pretty quick.
Oh, no.
And misses that 7-pin. And Alyssa Athis jumps on that opportunity, gets up in frame number 7. No problem with getting that ball to swish around and take out that 4-5-7.
Very good shot by Alyssa. I always like the light hits. I think it promotes better pin carry and gets you out of a little bit of trouble. I've always thought you don't leave your respective corner pin when you're hitting light.
See what Maddie Brandos can do here to try to keep her team close in frame number 8. I want to thank her parents, Dave and Janice. And she's throwing that sink. She says that's her favorite ball she's got in her arsenal nowadays, but it might just be a little bit too much for this pattern. It's only 38 feet in length. So she's having a problem with that ball constantly going left on her so far. A little bit with nerves, but
correct.
Having a ball that hooks sometimes doesn't help that issue.
It's a double-edged sword because sometimes the more aggressive equipment, it's going to roll more evenly off the edge of the pattern. But if it starts up too soon, it's just going to keep hooking, and that looks like what's happened to Maddie right now.
Yep. Well, 23 pin for Waukesha West Marquette here. Brent Boho can extend that lead out to 33 pins if he can get himself a Team 3-bagger here. Favorite pro bowler, Mike Fagan, a one-hander. How about that? I would have thought it would have been one of the two-handers. Also likes playing soccer when he's not on the lanes. And once again, hangs wide and another 1-2-4-10 for Brent.
Yeah, and I think he's probably thinking the same thing I am. Off his hand, I thought it was in almost the exact same spot his strike was in the previous frame, but it just didn't move at all. Yeah,
sometimes you just get that little bit fast and get it just through the break point. And next thing you know, you got yourself a big, ugly spare conversion. You're going to try to hook it over into that 1-2 area, and what a terrible break.
You know, you do everything right, and you still can't make the spare. Good shot by Brent, though.
Well, still a match with 2 frames to go. It's only a 17-pin lead for Waukesha West Marquette. West Dallas Central striking out, can shoot 171. Max score right now, 188 for Waukesha West Marquette. And a great ball there by Freddie, and he gets the 10 out.
Nice shot, lefty.
Come on, let's see. There he is. You know, you're going to see a smile coming back. He's like, phew. It's like walking up the 18th fairway. You could have a bad round all day in golf. You shoot a birdie on the 18th, and next thing you know, you're going to come back out again. I'm sure we'll see Freddie out at tournaments all through 2014. Rapidly improving young man. Alyssa's got to stop the bleeding for her team here after that open, stay in the lead, and not a bad shot there, just a little light.
Just a little light, leaves herself something, that's pretty routine. You never want to take anything for granted on a challenging pattern, but I think I'd much rather shoot at a 2-pin than a 210.
So should have no problem. She'll just move her feet a little bit to the right, use that same strike target. Not as much oil in the middle as you see in a house pattern with this Broadway pattern. So, she got real quick with that off her hand. You could just see she knew it as soon as it was gone. Turned around, walked away, and now it's a match. West Dallas Central can actually shut out Waukesha West Marquette if Maddie Brandos can throw 2 strikes and 6. This first one here is huge, though, to take the lead. Simple 5 steps, nice crossover going from the 3rd to the 4th step, and
nice shot, just a hair high.
You can't ask for more in a pressure situation right there. You put the ball in the pocket. It's not over yet, obviously. Make the spare, force your opponents to mark. We've seen spares are not easy all day. I mean, right now, Waukesha West sitting on 4 opens through their first 9 frames. And that's the same number of opens that West Dallas Central has so far. The big difference right now, that one double that Waukesha West Marquette threw in the 6th and 7th frames.
Good pickup, like you said, Phil. You gotta make your opponent show up in the 10th frame because anything can happen, and we've seen just about anything happen.
So with a strike here, West Dallas Central would end up at 151. It would force Brent Boho to step up and get any mark and 5 pins to win. Hey, there we go. Get that head pin doing some work.
Good frame. I mean, you completely filled it up. You did what you could do in that situation. So now you put the pressure on Waukesha West and Marquette.
Yeah, I mean, Maddie and Freddie might be back there going, boy, we bowled really bad our first time on TV, but they finished off strong, and that's something for them to build off for the rest of the season, high school and otherwise. Brent, that might go high, and wow, how about that? Trips the 4 out. think he knows he got away with that one a little bit?
Yeah, just a bit. But hey, I mean, that's the breaks of the game. Sometimes you get those. You saw Maddie's, that could have easily have tripped as well, so just the way the pins fall, I guess.
Yep. All he's got to do here is keep this ball in the lane, get 5 pins, and they're going to advance to the championship match against the winners of our next match between Indian Trail and Muskego. Another great shot there by Brent. Can't beat that. Well, we know who the winner is. We're going to save a little time. We're going to get into the commercial break right now. Join Chad Source and I back from Pioneer Bowl in Richfield for the rest of this high school mixed doubles classic in just a moment.
Barbiere's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mountain Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee. Stay where champions stay, the Sheraton Milwaukee Brookfield Hotel. Call 262-364-1100 to get the special state tournament rate of $77 per night.
Back to Pioneer Bowl in Richfield for semifinal number 2 here for the Mixed Doubles High School Classic. Got Muskego versus Indian Trail. Indian Trail in the latest Spare Time High School Coaches Poll. Both the boys and girls teams ranked in the top 10. Girls actually number 1 at this time, so we'll see what they can do in just a mixed doubles format. But we have Sammy Greger from Muskego leading things off. Senior, 17 years old at Muskego, definitely uses a lot of loft and length. Clear the heads and just a little left for 6'10".
And on a pattern like this, that's not necessarily a bad idea because you let the ball wait to start its roll, so it saves up a little bit of energy.
Yep. We see a lot of players on the Pro Tour that use a lot of loft. Mika Koivuniemen always comes
Absolutely.
to mind. And as the lanes break down, if you can, ball can't hook in the air as
No.
we've heard in the past. You can see right there, she gets a good 7-8 feet on the lane, but it's not an arc. It's a nice downward loft into the lane, and no problem covering up the spare.
Good start.
So Muskego, number 5 seed coming in today, defeated Franklin in the semifinals. Indian Trail, a little surprising, they were a 6 seed coming in, but they swept Sussex Hamilton in the semifinals. That was the number 3 seed to get to the TV show. And Josh Williams here for Indian Trail. And a little light. We've seen a lot of problems on lane 4 with coming up light. Now, Muskego was the higher seed, so they had lane choice. They decided to stay on lane 3. And maybe they found something in practice and realized, hey, if lane 3 hooks a little bit more for us, let's take advantage of it.
Yeah, and in a pattern like this, anything challenging, if you have a little more area that's going to be able to build up the energy, it's going to play into your strengths.
Oh, cross lane at the spare. That needs some help. And that's not the way I would have drawn that one up, Chad.
No. But for as many ways as you can miss that spare, it's good to, when you don't hit your target, to go, okay, I got away with that, but it's still a mark. Even match.
Yeah, 2-pin takes out the 5 and the 8. A little bit of a break there for Josh. Now, a freshman out of Muskego High School, Ben Schrader. First time on TV for him as well. And that needs a little bit of help to hold pocket, and he'll take that break right now.
There you go, yeah. And he strikes a good strike.
That's right. And even on tougher patterns, it's part of the game. You see that in college bowling a lot, where you've had matches and tournaments that have match play come down where one team gets a crossover strike and the other team doesn't carry one.
That is correct.
It's just part of the game. You accept it and you move on and try to make a better shot next time. Savannah Giroux up now from Indian Trail. We've seen her in a couple of our Youth Challenge telecasts this year, but Didn't see her starting matches like that with a 4.67.
No, just a little high. It wasn't bad off her hand. It just kept on rolling and just a little bit too much.
Well, you can't really say right now Lane 4 is playing tougher than Lane 3. I mean, we did see last match Waukesha West Marquette come away with the victory on that, but they did only have a 165 game on that lane, and that's bad count right there. You never know if you're going to need those couple of pins at the end of the match. You always want to make sure you get 2 on that spare.
Yeah, it's a question that bowlers grapple with quite a bit. Do you try and make the spare because you think you need it, or do you go for the count? I usually try and have players just go for the count because you know you can get those 2 pins.
Sammy, up. Want to thank your mom Dawn or dad Dave for all the bowling support. Favorite bowler Norm Duke. But we don't see Norm carrying too many of those trip 6 crossovers out there, but that's huge for Muskego right now. A couple of shots on the crossover they carry, and they're up by 26 pins early.
You know, there are times too in tournaments where it seems like, hey, this is all I got. I'm going to play this line. If you hit the target consistently and you get the same result, it really doesn't matter.
Exactly. Well, Josh here, try to get on board, keep his team within a couple of marks. See a little wiggle, get loose, long slide to get into that 4th step, and
nice shot.
Nicely done. Takes that 5 and takes out the 7. Awards today, thanks to our supporters, the Wagner family at Trophy Athletic on Old World 3rd Street in downtown Milwaukee. Anything you need for recognition awards, trophies, plaques, pens, crystal awards, you name it, they can get it for you. So stop by their website at trophyathletic.com or give them a call or stop in on Old World 3rd Street. Ben, well, that's a big pull there, and that's a lot of 8.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you definitely saw from the front view there, you could see his right shoulder pointed very, very much to the left, and that's usually what's going to happen. That's the result.
Ben's favorite bowler, Jason Belmonte, a 2-hander. Maybe we'll see Ben in a couple years trying 2-handed bowling. You never know. Like snowmobiling. Good thing to have this time of year if you're not bowling. Get out there and play the snow. And he really fell off that shot and just avoided chopping that 1-3.
Yeah, I think he's just got to take a deep breath, slow down a hair. It looks like his feet could be a little fast. That's what's causing him to fall off balance.
You know, once again, we see different approaches by both teams. The bowler has the better look or the little more experience on TV. Finishing off in the 10th frame, bowling the even number of frames. You got Savannah here. Experience under the TV lights. She decided for her team she was going to finish the 10th and just a hair light for that 2-pin. So you can definitely see the teams, they're not playing any gender basic things out there where
not at all.
Girl bowls first and the boy bowls second. They know whoever's got the better look, if they have to step up in the 10th frame, the pins don't know what gender you are when you're throwing that bowling ball, as Joey Serrar likes to say. Our friend Joey Serrar at Bowlers Pro Shop, I know he's busy this time of year, and wow, hooks by the 2-pin. Want to thank Joey for all the calls he makes on our shows. Dwight Albrecht, too, at Spare Time Pro Shop in New Berlin. He makes calls on a couple of our shows. And Chad, always with our high school shows, we thank you for taking a little time away from the UWM bowling program and getting some quality collegiate commentary on here.
Always a good time. It's always neat to watch these bowlers on TV. I wish we really would have had something like this when I was a junior.
And a big break there for Sammy. How about that? And the crowd goes wild. Big break. I think there was a head pin or a 2-pin that came back across.
Well, we'll see now.
Replay. 2-pin comes back across.
Yep.
Takes out that 6-10 and big break getting in the commercial break. That's definitely going to give Muskego a little more momentum here, no matter what Josh Williams can do. Long slide. That's got a hold pocket. Oh,
it did.
And a splasher to get into the commercial break for our semifinal number 2 here at Pioneer Bowl in Richfield. Join Chad Source and I back for the rest of the semifinal in just a moment. Eileen's Bowling Buddy, used by high school and college coaches and members of the PBA Tour to train, warm up, and rehab. Get all the information at eileensbowlingbuddy.com. It's never too early to think spring at Pioneer Bowl in Richfield. Sign up for softball, volleyball, kickball, and bowling leagues. Get your info at pioneerbowlsports.com. The second annual Bowling for Casey Scholarship Tournament will take place Sunday, February 23rd at the Lanes on 20 in Racine. For more information, email bowlforcasey@yahoo.com. under the bright lights here at Pioneer Bowl in Richfield for semifinal number 2 of the 2014 High School Mixed Doubles Classic, presented by Barbier's Italian Inn. And Ben Schrader trying to keep his team in the lead here, take advantage of that lucky strike they got in frame 5 for Sammy Greger, but can't quite carry the crossover. And Muskogo's struggling a little bit right now, but struggling in a good way, I guess you can say, keeping the ball near the pocket, even if it's a crossover, and having makeable spares.
Well, and like you talked about, the pins don't know a gender. The scoreboard doesn't know which side of the pocket you're hitting it on, so 9 spare looks like 9 spare no matter what it is.
Spare here, keep his team up by 30 pins. And nobody misses a 5-pin, especially on TV.
Oh, yeah. You still got to bring that up after all these years, don't you?
The Red Bull Collegiate Classic, yeah. That one player you had on your team, though, we will not mention. The tough match you guys had on TV. Hopefully we'll be able to bring back a collegiate tournament for everyone on Time Warner Cable SportsChannel next season. That'd be nice to do. And a great ball there coming out of the commercial break by Savannah.
Yeah, start to finish, that looked a whole lot better, a lot more composed. You know, sometimes you just got to take that extra second on the approach, getting set and getting in the right mindset, and you'll be able to execute just like that.
Well, even the experience on TV, Savannah's been out there a couple times, but even you see the pros that have been out there. Pete Weber has been out there almost 200 times, and you can tell when he's on under the lights, it's a whole different animal. The way he treats the game, the way he goes out there and bowls. Let's see what Sammy Greger can do here. And Sammy right in the pocket that time.
Yeah, that was a much better shot right there.
That's one I think we can just put her on a constant loop for. I think she'd like to see that the rest of the day.
As coaches, we always talk about taking a mental picture of a really good shot, and that's one that Sammy could definitely take a mental picture of.
And you can see, ball doesn't hook a lot, but that heavy, heavy forward roll that Sammy gets on that shot, that's what really drives through those pins, gets the ball working. Josh Williams looking for a team 3-bagger and just a little quick out of the hand again, and we've seen that in the lane 4. If it gets quick, it stays to the right. And not an easy spare conversion here. First time for Josh under the lights. Washout, I give him about a 50-50 chance on this, even a bowler of his caliber.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because there's really only 2 ways you can make it without getting really lucky, and we'll see what happens here.
He's got a good chance. He's got it over and
Nicely
gets it
done.
Perfectly. Can't draw it up any better than that. He keeps his team within 30 pins. Not done yet, but their max score right now, going off the sheets, 208, and Muskego spare strike paces in the 2-0s. So, working on a strike in frame number 8, Ben Schrader. 4-step. Little fall off at the line, but gets it the whole pocket.
That was a whole lot more on time than the previous shots. You could see how he was able to post the finish a lot longer than he was before, so nice adjustment.
Yeah, and that's one thing with nerves with kids. A lot of people say your feet are getting fast, your feet are getting fast or slow. Usually it's in the push away. Usually the bowlers get nervous and they hold that push away a little bit long, or they start it early, and that's what gets the rest of their timing out of whack.
Absolutely, Phil.
So much to go with the push away more than the feet. And will Savannah carry that one? Bad break there.
Yeah, it was a good shot. Just didn't get the pin action she absolutely needed right there.
Yeah, I mean, those GLB1 pins from Great Lakes Bowling, we know they're a little tough to fall. Regulation pins, but a little heavier and single void in the middle. So that's why Great Lakes Bowling puts up that $300 award, cash or scholarship for any individual, doubles team, trios team, or Baker team, 5-person to throw a 300 game out there. Haven't given it away yet. I think sometime this year something tells me we're going to get that $300 of Great Lakes Bowling out there.
That'll be an exciting game to call.
Exactly. Be nice giving that big fake check from Steve at Great Lakes Bowling out to a bowler or bowlers. Well, this could really shut out the match right here if Sammy Greger can get a strike, get her team 3 in a row. That's just left, and not an easy spare at this point in time during a match.
No, because now those thoughts start creeping into your head of, we've got the lead. Do you bowl defensive? Do you go for it? And I have to make this shot. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that go through a bowler's mind right now.
Well, you can see she moves a little farther left on the approach. She stays with her strike ball. That needs some help, and, well, there's more than one way to make a baby split. She moved it right there. How about that? Huge, huge break to keep Muskego in the lead. Now, basically, it's Indian Trails has to strike out to force Ben Schrader to mark in the 10th frame for Muskego. Right now, maximum score is 1 87 for Indian Trail, and they're not going to get there with another washout. And boy, just a mirror image of his shot in the 7th frame.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at a bowler, and if you're trying to make him feel better, say, hey, the good news is you're consistent. The bad news is it was a consistent miss, but, I mean, just a tough break.
Yeah. Well, something tells me, I know we're going to see both Indian Trails teams at the Midwinter High School Classic at Castle Lanes. And, both teams ranked in the top 10 in the state. They should both have a pretty good chance of making those TV finals. Of course, West Dallas Central, good teams as well.
Oh, yeah.
Waukesha West for the girls in the top 10. Marquette struggling a little bit this season, but Brent is easily a bowler that I could see making the state singles finals for high school in Green Bay in the early part of March. And, well, it doesn't really matter right now because with that open frame for Indian Trail, Muskego's going to advance to the championship match. Savannah here is just going to fast track through, try to escape. I know she's not happy with her performance today, but all these bowlers, first thing I guarantee you they'll be doing, getting back to their lanes at home and just practicing even harder. Well, this match is done. We're going to let these bowlers finish up on their splits. We're going to come back with a championship match between Muskego and Waukesha West Marquette in just a couple of minutes. Make sure you stay tuned. Join Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, Dwight Albrecht, and Phil Brilo as they discuss the PBA Tour and highlights of local bowling on the Spare Time Bowling Show, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. Stay where champions stay, the Sheraton Milwaukee Brookfield Hotel. Call 262-364-1100 to get the special state tournament rate of $77 per night. Providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com. Barbier's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mound Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee. All right, bowling fans, you've waited all day for the championship match here from the 2014 High School Mixed Doubles Classic. Muskego staying on lane 3, Waukesha West Marquette being the higher seed as top seed today. Had lane choice. They stuck on lane 4 coming back, so Muskego on the lane they're familiar with. So it should be a pretty exciting last match. Muskego coming off a 2-0-2 last game. I got to put them as the favorite right now, Chad.
Well, and they're coming off the win, so they got all the momentum. They didn't have to sit around. Ooh, not a good start right now, though. Maybe a little bit too amped. You're going for the title.
Yeah, I mean, you're bowling for school pride. You're bowling for that first place medal, plaques for your school and your bowling center. Well, Muskego bowls out of Alpine Lanes in Muskego. Lloyd McKendo down there, great supporter of high school bowling basically since it started.
Yep, absolutely.
Always had pretty strong teams down there. Nice loft on the lane. That's got a chance, and that's the second time today. We've seen that.
Yeah, she did everything. Sammy did everything that she should on that spare, and just a bad break.
Yeah, all you can do right now is go back, refocus, and get out there and throw a strike next time up. Well, let's see. They're going to keep the same order here for both teams. So Alyssa Athis bowling the odd-numbered frames this game for Waukesha West Marquette. Off her hand nicely, and 10 back.
Nice start. That's always a good way, good feeling, even if you're bowling just yourself as an individual with a team, whatever, of going, all right, this is the way we want to start the match.
Well, and we saw that in the match against West Dallas Central. They came out of the commercial break, 2 opens by the other team. Alyssa got out there, threw a double, and really got her team into the championship match. Ben Schrader here looking to get some help. Wow. Seems to be his favorite pocket today, the old 1-2.
Nothing wrong with that.
We'll make him an honorary lefty once the show's done.
All right.
to sit around with you and I. But yeah, big break there. Send that head pin to the sideboard. 5-pin scrambles into the 6-10 as well. You see Brent, he just gets up there, he gets ready for his shot. He's not worried about a good break the other team had. He knows he's got to make a good shot for his team. Can't make a better shot than that except for that pesky 9.
Brent, yeah. And the only thing you can say is the ball drove just a little too hard because it's the ball's responsibility to hit the 9. So it drove past it. You can watch here on the replay. It drives right through the 5 instead of deflecting off of it.
Yeah, he's using a Storm Tropical Breeze, which is a very weak ball for a reactive shell bowling ball. So goes two-handed at the spare. Doesn't change his form for that, and no problem staying on that 9-pin. Keep his team with an 11-pin lead. But
I think this match, if you can just fill frames, I think that's what's going to do it.
so Sammy's just got to bounce back from that bad first frame break on the washout conversion. Gets herself set up. Little conventional 4-step approach there. Out on the lane, about 8-9 feet, and I really thought that was going to be flush in the pocket to the last 3 feet.
Yeah, it was a really odd reaction in the back. You saw it just almost grab another gear right before the head pin, like you said, and it just took off.
Yeah, and no break at all to leave that 4, 6, and 10. Right now, you're on a strike. You want to make sure you get the 6, 10 out and get the 2 pins a count. You never know what you're going to need by the end of the game. Cross lane at that spare polyester ball, no problem getting 2.
Yeah, 2 equals 4 on a strike, right, Phil?
Exactly. Yeah, we've coached that way too many times in the high school and college ranks. How important count is on those strikes or doubles. So let's see what Alyssa can do here to keep that lead out for Waukesha West Marquette. Long strides in those 4 steps, and she came over the top of that one a little bit, and you could see
Same
trouble.
reaction.
Yeah, trouble all the way, and not happy. Going back, she knows she's just got to get her 2 pins here for count, even though it was on a spare. All these bowlers, polyester bowling balls for spare balls. Make sure you take the lane out of play, especially on tougher conditions like this. Cross lane, gets those 2 down.
Straighter is greater.
Well, right now, 9-pin lead for Waukesha West Marquette. With 3 frames in the books. Little struggle, probably nerves. You got to admit, you know, you're bowling for school pride. You're bowling on TV. You want to take home that gold medal for winning, and it's easy to start getting a little bit of a squeeze or get your timing out of whack on the ball.
Nice shot.
And as soon as we say that, Ben throws no nerves, no nothing, perfect shot. Can't draw it up any better than that when you watch that ball go through the pocket. The old split of the 8-9, the prettiest strike I think you can throw. Well, Brent knows he's got his work cut out from here. He's got to mark to keep his team in the lead. It looks like it's got a chance, and the best kind of mark always.
There you go.
10 on the first ball.
When he first popped up there, I thought, boy, he's not really taking any time. This could backfire on him. But, hey, he just jumped up there, knew what he had to do, and threw a perfect shot.
Yeah, you see that with a lot of bowlers nowadays. They know if they wait on the approach too long, they have a tendency to what I call vapor lock. They think about the shot too much, and they just kind of have their brain lock up their body. Where it's easier to just, you know what you're going to do when you get by the approach and you go, and no trip on that 9 on the crossover.
But I think Sammy would rather shoot at this than the split she had the last frame. So
Single pin spare. At least get your team with a mark on the board going into the commercial break in the last half of the match, and knowing you're still within less than 2 marks. Always helpful. Let's see there. Holds on. No problem covering that up. So right now, got that 9-pin lead for Waukesha West Marquette, but can get extended to 19 if Alyssa Athis can throw a double here in frame number 5. You see, starts way back in the approach for a short young lady for 4 steps, but you can see longer steps all the way up, and that's wide right, and lucky to get the 10 out again.
yeah, and that's another one like we called earlier. You know, stay out, and this is a whole lot easier to shoot than the washout she could have left.
Yeah. Likes playing softball when the weather's a little bit warmer. Unless you want to play snowshoe softball right about now, the way
Yeah.
winter's gone so far. She's going to stay on her strike line, just move a little farther to the right. Gets on target, no problem covering that up. Getting into our last commercial break of the afternoon. Join us back here from Pioneer Bowl in Richfield for the 2014 High School Mixed Doubles Classic Championship match in just a moment. Pick up the latest issue of Wisconsin Bowler Magazine, now available in your local bowling center. If your local center does not carry Wisconsin Bowler Magazine, ask them to. It's free to them and free to you. Eileen's Bowling Buddy, used by high school and college coaches and members of the PBA Tour to train, warm up, and rehab. Get all the information at eileen'sbowlingbuddy.com. Halfway through our championship match here from Pioneer Bowling Richfield for the 2014 High School Mixed Doubles Classic Championship. 9-pin match here. Ben Schrader stepping up for Muskego, trying to keep his team within a mark. Good shot out of his hand and shreds the rack, Chad.
There you go. Yeah, he's dialed in right now. The first shot was a little off, but the last two have been really, really good. And boy, I tell you, as a teammate or in a type of this situation like this, you go, don't worry, I got your back. You just get lined up, take your time, and he's doing his job right now.
Yeah, get your teammate to throw a strike in there somewhere and get yourself possibly a team 3-bagger when you're surrounding it with strikes of your own. Brent just high out of his hand.
Yep.
And 3-6-10, nothing easy, but that pin was coming across the deck, and you know what happens usually when we see that?
Yeah.
We usually see it take the 6-pin out.
Yeah, it's not going to take the 10 out and make it any easier. It's going to make it tougher.
So stays with his strike ball. You'll see him flatten out even though he's two-handed. Gets that ball to come back and no problem covering it up. That's one thing that some of these two-handed players get kind of distracted with is spare shooting. They're so worried about spinning the ball and getting the big hook and everything like that. And you see some of the two-handed players like Brent here, and we've seen Aaron Adams in the past who used to bowl for UW Whitewater, two-handed players, and they really concentrate on making their spares. They know how important spares are.
Absolutely.
If you're not striking. Wow, that is just way left on Sammy, and that was just nerves right there, you could tell.
I think so. I think she's putting a little pressure on herself because she knows her teammate is striking, and she's probably feeling, hey, I got to do my part. And all Sammy's got to do is just take her time, make the spare. She covers this up. They're still in the match. They're still looking real good.
Yeah, it's not like Waukesha West Marquette is running away with doubles and 3-baggers out there. Much better shot out of Sammy's hand, and wow. Is it going to fall? No, it's not. Tough break when that 6 taps the 10 and it doesn't even bother falling over for you. You can see right there, she threw it well, just a little bit, had it rocking, and just couldn't get it to fall. Well, let's see what Alyssa Athas can do here to take advantage of the situation, maybe start a team strike string of her own. Much better than the last couple of shots we've seen, but once again, high through the nose. I mean, she's not wide like she has been.
And you see this with bowlers that sometimes they narrow their focus so much that they try and fit the ball to a spot. And I think that's what a lot of the bowlers today in general have done is instead of just letting the ball off their hand and letting the ball work, they're trying to make the ball hit the pocket. Nice spare right there by Alyssa.
She was a lot more relaxed on that spare shot than she was on the strike ball. No doubt about it.
And we saw the same thing with Sammy. She tugged the first ball, but then relaxed and threw an awesome spare shot.
So just a matter of getting that mindset out there where you're relaxed, have the same pre-shot routine no matter what if it's your first ball or your second ball. Well, let's see what Ben can do here. That's going to be left out of his hand, and he didn't leave a split, which is good right now. Because I think a split right there would have been pretty much match over for Muskego. He's looking up at the scoreboard right now. He knows his team's down by a couple of marks.
Yeah, the match is not out of hand. We still have 2 frames left, and a double, a missed spare, and everything changes.
Yeah, we've seen momentum change so many times, especially in doubles or team events where one team gets hot and you get the team behind you cheering you on. You start getting the momentum going and the other team kind of falls off, and you see 30-pin swings in 2 frames more often than people realize. Well, Brent here looking to follow up on that nice split conversion that Alyssa Athas had in her 7th frame, and can't scramble it better than that.
There we go. Nice shot.
He knew it was good out of his hand. It was just a matter of if he was going to kick those corner pins out. And watch that ball hit the pocket. 5 gets rattled around. Head pin takes the 7 out. Would have taken the 5 out too if it would have tried standing. Sammy looking to bounce back now from that 7th frame effort. Needs to set her teammate up in the 9th frame. Oh, way left out of her hand again. And a lot of 7.
Oh, boy, yeah. And for a righty, this is not an easy spare to make.
No, you have no 6-pin to help you out with getting into the 10. If you hit a pocket shot, a lot of times that 3-pin's going to go on either side of the 10, so it's almost like you want to flatten it out and let the ball deflect all the way down the pins.
Agreed.
Let's see what she can do here. She's shooting it like a pocket strike. And needs some help to get up to the pocket. And this one is pretty much championship wrapped for Waukesha West and Marquette. If Alyssa Athis can get any kind of mark here, because Muskego's high score, if Ben Schrader can strike out 160, mark here, and they're on 160 pace for Waukesha West Marquette. Let's see. Little bit left out of her hand again.
Oh.
Big break to foul that, knock that 10 over and not leave that 4-7-10. And she knows it too coming back. And you can see right now, when you see the hands clapping at the bell, you know the nerves are kicking in. And you can't blame them. I mean, this is to take all the stuff, all the hardware back to the school. Hopefully get a little bit more respect for your school's bowling program. It might not be basketball or hockey or wrestling. And terrible she is very upset with herself right now. Knows that mark right there would have really put pressure on Muskego. And now sends the pressure back to Waukesha West Marquette. If Ben Schrader can get a double here. Ben out of his hand, needs to hold pocket, and can't get the 4 out.
Wasn't a bad shot, just a hair high. It could have gotten a little slow, making sure that he hit his target on that one, knowing what you need.
Well, it's not over yet. If he spares here and gets all 10 in the 10th, it's going to force Brent Boho to mark in the 10th frame. So you got to get the hard work out of the way right now. Make sure you get that spare.
There we go.
Because, if he gets 9 on the next ball, it'll be 149. Pardon me. No, the most I get right now is 149. Yeah, you got to stay behind the foul line. So, so this one is over. Yeah, they definitely need the first 2 strikes in the 10th there. Good thing math isn't my strong point. Pulled a Don Barrett there like he did at the PBA World Championship. Didn't know what the score was and could have thrown it away till his coach told him, "Hey, guess what? You need 8 pins." Well, right now this is just the victory lap for Brent Boho and Alyssa Athis. They're going to take them to 2014 High School Mixed Doubles Championship. How do we split the plaque in half that goes to the school?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, we'll have to cut it in half. We'll work on getting I'm sure the Wagner family at Trophy Athletic will be able to get us a plaque for Marquette and for Waukesha West for those respective trophy cases. I think that's going to be the first bowling trophy that Marquette's going to have.
There we go.
It's only
Starting a new tradition.
Yeah, only the second year of the high school program at Marquette University High School. A little iffy on the spare there by Brent, but it was just academic. So, all the bowlers here looking forward to that 2014 Midwinter High School Team Classic from Castle Lanes. Can't wait to show that to everybody in February on Time Warner Cable SportsChannel. Nice build-in to see what teams you might see on the high school state championships in March. The slow roller back to the pocket.
Yep.
Get 7 on that last ball. Chad, thanks for sitting in with me on the commentary today.
No problem.
We're going to come back and wrap up this high school mixed doubles classic from Pioneer Bowl in Richfield in just a moment. Make sure you stay tuned.
Barbier's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Blue Mountain Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee. Pins for our Essential Bowling Concepts telecast are provided by Great Lakes Bowling, offering services, supplies, and capital equipment to the bowling industry for over 38 years. GreatLakesBowling.com.
Well, Chad, grind out all day out there. We expected it. We knew the score was going to be a little bit lower. Muskego did pull out a 200 game in the semifinals thanks to some crossovers. But in the championship match, I think the nerves got to him a little bit more. And unfortunately, a couple fewer spares made gave Waukesha West Marquette the victory.
Yeah, the match still could have gone either way as late as the 7th or 8th frame. But that's when you saw, some bad luck creep in, some just not as crisp shots. And, that's part of the game.
Well, Alyssa Athis from Waukesha West, Brent Boho from Marquette taking home that second annual high school mixed doubles championship.
going to have a little more fun with the next show again. We bring it back once a year. Our version of the old bowling game. This year we're calling it the Big Bowling Game. Coming to you from Sunset Bowl in Waukesha. And a nice fundraiser for Royal Family Kids Camp. And the fun part is we get to see bowlers of all ages and abilities out there.
Yeah, it's a great way, over New Year's to remember what the bowling game used to be like. Lee Rothman, Tom Cole. Good times, good times.
Yeah, I know Dwight Albrecht's not exactly a Tom Cole. I'm no Lee Rothman, no doubt about that. Legends of Milwaukee broadcasting, but we'll do the best we can in the commentary. Chad will be joining me back on the show after that, the High School Midwinter Classic, coming to you from Castle Lanes and Racine, so we'll be looking forward to that as well. For my friend Chad Source, UWM Bowling, good luck the rest of your season.
Thank you, Phil.
I'm Phil Bradlow, and parents take the kids bowling, love fun for life. We'll see you again from Sunset Bowl in Waukesha.